Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing another winning podcast tonight. Tonight, we're going to put a little roll tide into it. We're going to go to the great state of Alabama. We're going to talk to Mr. Blake Tomlin. Blake just won the Lake Martin BFL Bama Division tournament this past weekend, so we're very excited to have another winner from 2022 on our podcast. We're going to get to him in just a minute. As always, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. If you've been following us, you've seen we're dropping a lot of great content, talking to a lot of BFL anglers with Major League Fishing, having a lot of fun with it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's going to be Revital Outdoors. And always, you can check out our premium CBD products on our website, www.revitaloutdoors.com. THC free, made right here in America. We have a great product for all outdoor enthusiasts, so check that out. And if you're interested in a pro staff opportunity, be sure to hit the pro staff tab, fill out that application. We'll be happy to review it and get you on our pro staff team. So, but without further ado, very excited to get back to Alabama. Mr. Blake Tomlin, congratulations off this past weekend, buddy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's just get right into it. So, how'd you put together your tournament? Did you think you were going to win, and what all came together for you?
Man, I didn't think I was going to win. I was expecting to have fun, catch a lot of fish. Martin's got plenty of fish in it, so I was definitely expecting that. Definitely never expected any kind of day like I had, for sure. I don't think anybody would have expected that day out there. So I'm very blessed and thankful to have had that go like it went. I've caught some fish there. It's actually my first BFL as a boater. The first BFL I ever fished as a boater. I went to Martin and cashed a check there. I think in either 11th or 14th, something. I think 14th, and had 11 and some change. And my co-angler caught a 5-pounder in the area that we were fishing in, and I think he come in third in that. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, we caught 30 fish throughout the day, I think, and just so I seen the potential kind of then. And then the year, I think a couple years later, I think we skipped Martin a year or two. A few years later, after the BFL entry fees went back down, and I got back into the BFLs again. We went back the first year I got back in. We went back to Martin, and I had a 8-pound bag, I think, at Martin, and lost a 3-pounder or two. So I kind of just seen the potential in the area for the quality largemouth to be there, but never really capitalized on it or had it go my way. And so I went with that, and it's just fishing upriver, just fishing shallow in the river, and started out my day at the shoals. So I went up, started the shoals, and caught 2 fish there pretty much back to back on my first few casts. And I thought that I would catch a lot of fish there. The first fish I caught was about 1.75 pounds or so, and I caught it on swimbait. I was pretty much running 3 baits all day, and like I said, those first 2 were on swimbait, and then I was expecting to get several more bites, and it just died. And I fished up there for another 30, 45 minutes and never could get another bite. Kind of made my lap around and was about done with that. So I left out of there and went back down the river, not all the way to the main lake, just back down from the shoals a little ways, and started throwing the chatterbait up pretty shallow and caught one off of a tree. And that was my first good fish, and I think it was like 5 or something like that, 5.5 or so, give or take, a little less than 5.5. And so I put that one in the boat, and I would say 100 yards down the bank, I caught another one that was 4 something. So at that point, I really thought I mean, that's the 2 hardest fish to catch at Martin, or your over 4, over 5. Once you get those out of the way, the 2-pounders shouldn't be that big of an issue. So I knew at the time that I had a pretty good shot at doing something with it. And I debated back, I had another area that I could catch some 1.75, maybe 2-pounders out of, but it was kind of hard to get into, hard to get to. And I didn't really see the potential there for any more bigger fish. So I debated back and forth for a while after those 2 big ones, because the area that I was in, it kind of, after those, that was it. I mean, we caught some short fish, maybe 11, 12 inchers. But other than that, it was pretty much a struggle. So there was a lot went through my head at the time. Do I of course, I was ready to leave from there. But do I go fight my way into this area, or do I just try to find some more of what I've got now? And I left out of there, kind of run a few more things. I didn't push myself into the other area that I wanted to go to, just because of the time that it would take up. You may get stuck in there and there's rocks, and it's just not. I didn't feel it was the best decision for me at the time, so I didn't go there. And just wanting to have a chance at winning, and I've had now a second place finish and a fourth place finish. Those are, I think, my two best BFL finishes aside from this. And after both of those, and they're great, but at the same time, and in those two tournaments, one of those I didn't even have a chance to win. The other, I had a somewhat of a chance, but just things just didn't quite go my way in that one. And that's fine. But so looking into this one, I really didn't want to take that kind of an opportunity, having a 5-something in the boat and a 4-something in the boat, and take that kind of opportunity and turn it into a top 5 finish. I would have been disappointed with that. You see what I mean? Just because of the potential to blow it away kind of was there if I could just catch a few more good ones. So, and I wanted to make sure that I'd done my best to either, get a small check or win. And I was kind of willing to risk it. I didn't really want a second place or a third place or any of that. Not that I would complain about that, but in this position, that's not what I wanted to come out with. So I went ahead and went for it and just stayed shallow, went back to the area that I'd caught my two biggest. I let it rest for a while, went back to it. And I would say 30, 45 minutes into the second time that I went to it, I caught a 5.7. And once I caught that one, it was kind of getting scary at that point. I was like, wow, I was hoping for some 2-pounders, and I've got 15 with 3 fish. So at that time, I thought maybe I may have it, but I know somebody could come and beat it. And so I just, of course, saying my prayers all day and looking for a 2+. I had a 1 3/4 pound spotted bass and about a 12, 13 incher in the boat still at that time. So I had 2 fish that I could easily get rid of, and would really like to have gotten rid of them. And then so I go on down the bank a little bit further. I catch another one's like 2.5, and everything in my mind at that point is like, wow, that's it. You've done it, And at the time, yeah, that would have done it for sure. But still, man, with BFLs, you know how it goes, I guess. You see these guys are good. Just plain out good. And I don't really have a home lake. So Martin's not a home lake. I've only been to Martin 4 other times, or anywhere else. So you never know kind of what the lake. I know what I think it has the potential of producing, but I don't really know if some of the local guys there might have been just crushing them, as far as I know. So maybe the lake changed over the last few years since I've been there. There's no telling. So I was just basically, don't let up until you've done as much as you can possibly do. So as much as deep down, I'm like, it's okay. That's like, you don't have to do any more. That's it. You got it. But at the same time, you don't want to end up weighing in with a small fish and knowing all you had to do was go catch a 2.5 to have done it. So we stayed fishing. As much as I would have liked to just went back and put my check ball in and been done at the time, we stayed out. But we went back down the lake from there and pulled up on a point, a couple different points, and just trying to see if I could call out with a better spotted bass, but keep myself closer to the ramp just to make sure that if something did go wrong with the motor or anything like that, that somebody would have time to still tow me and I could get my fish in. So once we got back down to that area, we started fishing down there. We got a few bites, just short ones, and lost 1 or 2 little spots, that kind of thing. And then picked the big swim bait back up for a little bit. And man, I had one in a treetop I've seen on Panoptics kind of come up at the swim bait, and I seen him come up at it. He ticked at it. I thought that was, in my head, I'm just waiting on some kind of miracle the way the day was going. So, but that didn't happen. He ticked at it. I missed him, and I was like, okay, that's no big deal. I turn around and just kind of fire the swim bait down the bank in the other direction, and something hits it. I lean on it, and I was like, when I leaned on that last one, I was like, man, there's no way. It's another big one. There's just no way. And sure enough, it came up about a 3.5 pound spot. And I was like, man, we got that one in the boat. I'm like, dude, that's it. I'm done. I mean, it's over. It's done and over with now. So, I mean, I knew I was pushing 20 already, and then that one culling me up 2 pounds. That was surely had to be it. And after that, I knew I couldn't even cull again if I wanted to. There's no way. So
Right.
from there, we stayed for 10 more minutes, let my co-angler catch another fish or two to help him out, and then we went back and weighed in, I think 10 minutes early. So
Well, it paid off for you.
Day.
It paid off for you. Let's see the hardware. You talked about, going all out, and, second place sometimes just isn't gratifying, but there's the top prize. That's why you worked so hard. I mean, there's nothing wrong with fishing conservatively, wanting to do well in points, but at the end of the day, bringing home that hardware, that's just what keeps you driving for the next tournament and just kind of puts a spark in your tournament fishing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I want to say too, a lot of the day, man, it was like I said, it was a pretty magical day. And I don't mean to like, I just want to tell you how it went down. Not necessarily, I don't want to brag, and I want to give God the glory for this, man. And just, I know those were blessings that day. And a lot of days, almost every day, there's not much I can do on my own. So I want to make sure to do that.
Right. There's been a lot of tournament anglers that talk about winning tournaments, and there should have been things that shouldn't. There was things that happened throughout the day that shouldn't have happened. There was things that in a normal tournament situation would have gone completely different, and it's just. I think overall, you just hit on it a little bit around noon when you were making those transitions and you went back to that swim bait, and then you caught that 3-pound spot. There's just things that happen that kind of tell you this is meant to be my day.
Well, I mean, if you look at, we've talked about this a couple times throughout the week since that tournament and with my buddies and all. And if you look at Lake Martin and you look at the number of those 4 to 5 pound bass that are caught at Lake Martin, statistically, it doesn't even make sense to have caught 3 of those in the same area. Right. It just doesn't really even add up, So there's no way I can just say, oh man, I knew they were there, or I knew what to do and this and that. I was just doing the best I could with what I thought I could catch fish on. And that was my decision-making process, was that the water was warming up and that kind of thing. But ultimately, to run across those kind of fish at Martin and that many of them, it's a blessing. So.
Absolutely. So, well, Blake, it's been really great to have you on, talk about your win recently. What's your goals throughout the rest of the year? I mean, obviously to win another one, but now that you got the regional in the bag, you win one, you're in, you just got to fish the rest of the year. So what's your goals throughout the rest of 2022?
So I'm fishing Choo-Choo division and the Bama division and Toyota series this year. So I'm right now, I had a 11th place finish at Gunnersville in the Toyotas. So that's got me set up in decent points there. I would really love to at least make the Toyota championship, if not the top 6 in that's the main goal there. And I think I'm in 50th points in the Choo-Choo. I had a bomb finish at Gunnersville in the first Choo-Choo. I had 1 fish in that. And Pickwick, if everybody that fished Pickwick knows, it was a miserable day. I had 2 fish in that, and that was plenty for me. I was ready to leave at 12 o'clock. So that was just a miserable tournament. But we finished that one up. I think I'm in 50th in the points in that. So I'm pushing for points there, pushing for points in the Toyotas. I'm very glad to have this one locked in now, that because so the way the year lays out, the Toyota series collide with the Bama division twice. Mm-hmm. And if I make the top 25 in the Toyota in either or other of those events, I'll take a complete 0 in the Bama, and that would eliminate my chances to go to Pickwick for the regional. So it really worked out well having this. Now all I have to do is pay my entry fees through the year. If I don't show up, it's okay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way the
that the Major League Fishing rules work in the BFL league, you win one, you're in. I mean, exactly what you just said.
You have to pay for your season still.
You have to pay your entry fee and launch your boat, but that's about it. You're in now.
So you have to show up for the tournament.
I'm not sure on that one. I think you have to at least show up. Not really sure on that one, but they did do the win you're in rule, which I'm a huge advocate of, because you know what, the guys that put in their time, they put in their effort, and they able to conquer that win, they need to be a little bit rewarded. So more than just a paycheck.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot to win one of these, and like I said, I was very blessed to win this one. I know some other guys that are great fishermen, have been doing it for a long time, still haven't won one, that are very well deserving of winning one. So, I mean, and you hear guys talk about all the time how hard they are to win. And I think, it just makes it that much harder when you don't really have a lake that you're a local on. We fish here in Georgia. We are, the biggest lake we have. We got West Point. We fished West Point, Jackson. We fished some smaller lakes, Hardin. I don't really go to Sinclair, Oconee at all. I've probably been to Martin more than I've been to Sinclair or Oconee. So, or Lanier. I've been to Lanier, I think 2 or 3 times at the most, and that's it. So I don't really have a place to call home or a place to spend my every weekend that has BFL tournaments at all. So I just go over and fish as many of them as I can. And, at some point you're bound to, I guess, run across a good day like that and put it together. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
Absolutely. So, well, Blake, it's been a real honor to have you onto our podcast. Thank you for joining us at Revital Outdoors. Good luck to you the rest of the season. Before we let you go, we want to just give you the opportunity. I know there's a lot of people that support you with your friends, your family, and a few sponsors that you may have. So anybody you would like to thank, you're a very busy tournament angler. We want to give you the opportunity to do that.
I don't have a lot of sponsors, but I'd like to thank my friends for traveling with me and helping me out. They work with me. Me and 2 other guys, we own a fence business. We Southeast Fencing and Railing, and we're here in Georgia. We service Noonan, Fayette, Coweta area, and of course Meriwether, Pike County. We service. They help me out a ton. I mean, if I have to go and they can't, they're still here working, and they fish with me and travel with me too. And we all try to encourage each other as much as we can. And sometimes if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't go fishing, and sometimes vice versa. So we all kind of push each other to keep going, and of course push each other to take too much time off work sometimes too. But so that, and I'd like to thank my wife, of course, for putting up with this deal. You know how it is. I mean, it's a lot of traveling, a lot of going, and you're gone from the house a lot. And she does a great job as far as putting up with me on that. So I appreciate that. And the only other sponsor I have is Ben Zach. He is a guy that's out of I think they're out of Marietta. They service Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area. It's a commercial sheetrock, drywall, and painting. So they do multifamily drywall painting, anything like that. I don't think they do much residential kind of stuff, but I'd like to give them a huge thanks for supporting me in all this and encouraging me in that. So.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. So, well, Blake, appreciate you coming on again. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury. You've been talking to Mr. Blake Tomlin, again, the BFL Bama Division Lake Martin champion. So good luck to you, Blake. Hope to talk to you again throughout the year, because that means your 2022 season is just getting better and better. So good luck to all the other anglers fishing the Bama Division tournaments and all the BFLs this year. So again, I'm Theron Asbury with Revital Outdoors. We will talk to everyone very, very soon on the next podcast. God bless. Be safe out there. And thank you for tuning in.